WCBN.
33 degrees in Parkville.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
As for tomorrow night, you've given Democratic members the option to skip the event if they want to. For those who choose to attend, how would you like to see them behave?
Well, listen, it's my expectation that members who choose to attend will be there in silent defiance. Of course, skeptical of the remarks that the president is going to try to deliver in terms of his spin.
Wait. Hold on. So this is like a gift from God, huh? You got Democrats either not going to attend or sitting there and shutting the hell up. I mean, honestly, because it's getting better than that, than the Democrats just say, well, we're not going to come, and if we do, we're just going to sit there and shut up. Oh, my God, it's like our dreams of, our prayers have been answered, for God's sake. I mean, really? Really? That's like your drunken uncle saying, I'm not going to attend a wedding, and I'm not going to get drunk and get in a fight. Oh, okay, great. Thank you. We won't send you an invitation. Oh, this is fantastic. This is just fantastic. You know, we're going to have the U.S. men's Olympic hockey team going to be there. I think that's going to be fine. You know, I would assume that the Democrats in the chamber wouldn't even bother standing for them, for God's sake, because, you know, they're cisgendered white males. I got to tell you, your Democrat Party, you guys are just so hyper screwed at this point. You hate patriotism. You hated the fact that the U.S. men's and women's hockey teams won gold and actually stood there and didn't kneel during the anthem and everything. And now you're continuing a little temper tantrum. I think that the next thing that the Congress should pass is a massive daycare center for the Capitol, and not for the kids, for the Democrats, because honestly, they're petulant little children. Like this Angie Craig saying that she would rather stick forks in her eyes than watch Donald Trump's State of the Union.
Rather stick forks in my eyes than be here tonight to listen to Donald Trump talk about the State of the Union. But this is the people's house. And I will not abandon the
let me run by Bed Bath & Beyond. I'll get some silverware.
People's house. And that is why I feel it's really important to bring Angel Silva here to represent and have Donald Trump have to look in the face tonight. The people that he has hurt across our country.
Bring your forks, by the way. Here's Adam Schiff. He's not going to be there. I know. Talk about a prayer being answered.
Donald Trump is violating the law and Constitution.
Oh, no. Adam Schiff isn't going to be there. Won't be a party without Adam Schiff.
He is ignoring court orders.
Oh, my God, one of the most despicable human beings in the history of mankind, and he's not going to be there.
Weaponized the Justice Department to go after his enemies. He is letting loose ICE troops.
Oh, you're just full of crap.
In our streets that are getting people killed.
I will. Two people that tried to kill ICE agents, by the way.
Not be attending the State of the Union.
No.
I've never missed one. Awesome. I have always gone both to inaugurations and to States of the Union. But we cannot treat this as normal. This is not business as usual. I will not give him...
I mean, certainly the closed border and the $18 trillion of new investment and the capture of Maduro and the end of the fentanyl crisis in America with 95% of drugs coming in from over the southern border being shut off altogether, bombing the Iran nuclear sites, bringing peace to 8 different nations, bringing peace to Gaza, and on the verge of taking out the Ayatollah.
The audience he craves for the lies that he tells.
Exposing massive fraud in the government.
I'll be outside the Capitol with
cutting massive amounts of government jobs.
Midas touch and move on for the people's State of the Union.
Wow.
8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Wow, I can't wait. And if you could see the people who are going to be at that People's State of the Union, I mean, they're the opposite of the people. These people are a bunch of nutbags, unlikable people. I don't have the list in front of me, but honestly, Democrats, I can't believe that you think it's a threat for these people not to want to come to the party tonight.
It is 100 days of chaos. From one end of the government and one end of the country to the other.
They are driving us toward painful Republican recession.
Tariffs that, as I predicted, are clearly inviting a recession.
This is an economic Armageddon that's coming for the U.S. consumer and the economy.
It hasn't happened. It's kicking butt, actually.
You see all of his cabinet members, his other aides, going on TV and
kicking butt,
glorifying the tariff-mageddon we have just been through and are still going through.
President Trump shrugs as the stock market plunges and the dollar weakens amid warnings that his tariffs could throw the United States into a recession.
Here is a little bite from Jake Tapper. He was, fishing to see if there was anything that could be done now that Donald Trump has found another venue to get tariffs. And his question was answered very quickly.
CNN's Vanessa Yurkevich is here. Vanessa, give us the reality check. Can President Trump impose these new tariffs?
Yes, he can, Jake.
New CNN poll. CNN, oddly enough. So you can imagine that anybody else is going to be even higher than 93.3%. Republicans approve of Donald Trump by jumping 3 points to 93.3%. 93.3%. If it were a Newsmax poll, it would be 100%. Thank you very much. And then there's this, by the way, on top of everything else, the Democrats, honestly, this is, it's remarkable. When you look at the litany, all of the things that he's done, including bringing down prescription drug prices massively, making fertility treatments affordable for people who couldn't afford them before because they used to be thousands of dollars. I mean, I can go on and on. Bringing back all this manufacturing. He's doing a hell of a job as the President of the United States. Every week you've got some sort of list of great things that are happening. And then, of course, there's this when it comes to crime. When it comes to crime, guys, and the Democrats haven't even acknowledged this.
Thanks to President Trump, you are now, and this is a fact, the liberal media people can stick, you get the rest. You can just, all your crap about this is not going to make this go away.
No,
you are now living in the safest America you've ever lived in.
Yeah, you are.
The murder rate, everything from property crimes. That's a fact. That is a fact. It's not a matter of your stupid opinion on the other side. You can have an opinion about it, but you're just wrong. And one of the reasons, and I'll leave this point here, is because President Trump saw low-hanging fruit in getting rid of illegals and used Title VIII to get them the hell out of the country instead of engaging in 6-month proffer sessions to try to get a bunch of useless information. He said, get the hell out. We're not wasting any more United States attorney time on this. Just get out. And that's why you've seen the crime rate plunge. It's not a mystery.
All right, there you go. So tonight, Democrats, don't come or sit down and shut the hell up. Here is Jim Gossett as the president.
It sucks to be you.
Yeah, it does.
You Democrats, you.
U.S. men's hockey team's going to be there. What's up, guys?
Inflation is down.
USA.
Schumer's a clown.
USA.
He'll get his due.
Patriotism is back.
No Kings was a flop.
Yeah, bought and paid for.
But you will not stop. I'll bring the world peace. More wars I will cease. We'll come out on top.
Do-de-do-do.
Drug boats we took out.
Oh, yeah, he's blowing up the drug boats. Fishermen.
We ended all doubt. The border is closed.
It was.
Letitia is hosed while Democrats pout.
Yeah, they are. They're not going to come or they're going to just be quiet.
The new ballroom will be complete.
Oh, they hated that.
While Democrats will suffer defeat. It sucks to be you, miserable you. It sucks to be you.
Now a new NBC News poll shows the Democratic Party has reached an all-time low in popularity.
Why and all you want about the National Guard? Antifa pals, we will bombard. It sucks to be you. You know that it's true. It sucks to be you.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. And here's Jamie Raskin of Maryland. Even though Donald Trump, there was another attempted assassination over the weekend with a crazy guy bringing in a gas can and a shotgun to Mar-a-Lago, and he's turning up the temperature.
No president ever transformed the entire machinery of the federal government into...
I know, he's making it smaller and more efficient, and he's exposing fraud.
...an instrument of political propaganda, censorship, and repression.
Oh, wait a minute. You guys went after social media, and you guys created the Disinformation Governance Board, and you shut down all conservative political opinion on all social media.
The way that Donald Trump has.
No, not at all. It was Joe Biden.
As aspiring presidential dictators go, he is simply in a class...
Wow, you know, he just ignored that Supreme Court ruling on Friday and been a dictator.
...by himself, which is why America now has a No Kings movement.
Yeah, bought and paid for by Neville Singham and George Soros.
Tens of millions of Americans that has risen up to
it's all fake.
Counter him. Trump makes no pretense of respecting any part of the First Amendment.
Wow.
He merges his insatiable greed and his authoritarian politics.
He lost $1 billion of his own net worth in the first term.
With his snarling dictatorial desire to stamp out any political, legislative, social, cultural, or intellectual expression that he personally disagrees with.
Oh man. Everything he just said there was completely stupid. Oh, and then there's one other thing I'm going to play here, just to give you a little flashback to what things were like under Joe Biden. Here's an update with one of the many promises that Joe Biden made that were broken.
The Department of Transportation under the previous administration received $7.5 billion from Congress to fund electric vehicle charger stations across the whole country.
Yeah, what about that?
Only 68 charging stations are currently up and running.
What?
Quote, Biden promised 500,000 of them, but by April 2025, the federal push had yielded only 384 public ports at 68 stations in 16 states.
Yeah.
A network so faint you could miss it with your eyes open.
That's true.
President Trump rightfully attempted to freeze the frivolous funding and redirect the funds to other infrastructure projects, but a federal judge forced the funding to be dispersed to this boondoggle.
And
just as a fun aside, by the way, if you do the math, each charging station effectively cost the U.S. taxpayers over $110 million.
And when was the last time you saw those damn things being used? Hardly ever. Hardly ever. Yeah, it is a tale of two cities. We are on the positive side. We are on the Patriot side. And they are doing a death spiral into hell. On the eve of the State of the Union, it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Sending troops to Memphis, Tennessee, 'cause it looks like Memphis could use some help from me. The mayor has done nothing to put criminals away. Memphis needs our help, and they need it there today. The city's run by Democrats who defunded police. They can't do their jobs or maintain the peace. I'm sending in the guard. Memphis needs it bad. Their mayor, Paul Young, that guy's really sad. Voted the most dangerous place in the USA. Wouldn't want to live there. Wouldn't want to stay. Sending in the guard. That goal, it was mine. Democrats in Memphis, listen to them whine.
On street protesters, we've had our fill, but Randy Fine has a bill, says move them on over, run them all over. Run over protesters blocking all our roads. The thump bill is what it's called. I'm sure the left will be appalled, but move them on over. Run them all over. Step on the gas if they won't step aside. Sure, it might leave a dent, but make them a hood ornament. Run them all over. Thump them all over. If they block our streets, they'll get what they deserve.
everything is so political. We're athletes. We're so proud to represent the U.S. And when you get the chance to go to the White House, meet the president, we're proud to be Americans, and that's so patriotic. So no matter what your views are, we're super excited to go.
How do you feel about the women not going?
Everyone's giving us backlash for all the social media stuff today, but it's so negative. People are so negative out there, and they're trying to find a reason to just put people down and make something out of almost nothing. I think everyone in that locker room, knows how much we support them, how proud we are of them, and we feel the same way we feel about them. We know they feel that way about us.
That is Jack Hughes. He's going to be at the White House tonight. He's one of the heroes of the men's hockey team that won the gold at the U.S. Olympics. And so did the women, by the way. The girls kicked some butt, too. The girls are not going to be the women. Oh, that's so dizzy. No, it isn't. Just girl, whatever. They're kidding. Gold medal winning U.S. Olympic women's team not going to be there tonight. We sincerely are grateful for the invitation to our gold medal winning U.S. women's hockey team and deeply appreciate the recognition of their extraordinary achievement. Due to the timing and previously scheduled academic and professional commitments, won't be able to attend. So I don't hold it against the girls for doing that. That's okay. They got a little bit busy, and then the men just hit it, and then Donald Trump extended the invite, and they said, hell yeah, because, they're ready to party this week. They want to have a party. They went into Miami last night and just tore up the place. Oh, they just hit. And by the way, all this patriotism is like garlic to vampires for the left, because for years they've been tearing down our country, saying that we're a slave nation and that, we're whatever. I mean, tearing down statues. They did that in the summer 2020. They tore down Christopher Columbus statues. Kamala Harris made it Indigenous Peoples Day instead of Christopher Columbus Day. And they just hate that the house of hate that they built is on a foundation of sand, and it's coming down, and American patriotism is back. This is U.S. goalie, hell of a goalie, by the way, Connor Hellebuck, talking about America.
Watching you when the national anthem was being played, it was probably the biggest smile I've ever seen on your face. What was going through your mind when you saw the American flag raised to the rafters?
So much. I would have rather had the pride flag hanging there because, America's built by slaves.
It still hasn't truthfully sunk in, so, I'm looking forward to celebrating in the next 24 hours. And,
well, you love America? Really?
Who knows how long it's going to last. This is surreal. It's around my neck, and it's a dream come true.
Yeah, but I'm sure some of the female players don't feel that way, like Taylor Heiss of the women's team.
Yeah, playing for your country and the pride of the place that you live is pretty amazing.
What?
And to wear that USA emblem on your chest every day, it's something that you don't want to take for granted every day. And hockey's a kid's game, and it's just such a fun sport to be a part of, and to represent your country at the highest level there is. It's pretty unbelievable.
It sure is.
Yeah, it is pretty. Wow. Okay. It's not what the Democrats have been saying about America for a while. They've been telling us we should kneel during the national anthem and that we're racist and everything and white supremacy and all. I don't know. Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, I'm just glad that the Democrats are either not showing up tonight or going to sit there like petulant little children and shut their mouths, because honestly, I think America's about done with your bloody temper tantrum. I want to go to Mark in Baltimore. Hello there, Mark. Welcome to the Rob Carson Show. What's going on?
I guess good afternoon, Shalom. And by the way, go USA in the ice hockey teams of men and women winning the gold, both against Canada and both in overtime.
Yes, sir.
That was very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here in the pitiful state of Maryland, in Baltimore City, and I know that at least one of the two senators is boycotting tonight's State of the Union address. I don't know about the lady. I know the man is. I don't know about the lady. And my own congressperson, I forgot his name, is not going to be there.
Yeah.
Awesome. The State of Maryland will be very. You'll be the only person you'll probably get is the Honorable Congressman Andy Harris there representing Maryland.
Well, that's good.
It's shameful that the rest of the state is not.
Well,
by the way,
that's fine.
I heard that the Harris seat might be saved because the deadline to look at reapportionment by the state government looks like it's passing tonight, and it won't act on it this time. Thank goodness.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what do you think about the state of Maryland not being hardly visible tonight?
I think it's great. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't want those crappy people there anyway. They're dour, awful people. They hate America. They've caused the state of Maryland to plummet to the pits of hell. I used to live in Maryland. I lived in Maryland for 12 years. I would never live in Maryland. And then I move here, and they elect Abigail Scamberger, so I may end up having to leave Virginia eventually as well. But as far as I'm concerned, you couldn't ask for a greater gift than some of these jerks not attending the State of the Union. Honestly, there's no room in a house of joy for people who are so awful and have done so much bad things to the people of the United States and, of course, the state of Maryland as well. Thanks for the call, bro. I do appreciate it.
Go Trump and go USA tonight and shalom.
I appreciate it. Last night on Newsmax, Micah Ruzioni from the 1980 Miracle on Ice team was talking about this year's U.S. men's Olympic hockey victory and the women's.
You know, I'm so happy for the men. And you know what? Let's also add our women's team. We win 2 gold medals in hockey, the women's team and the men's team. And I know a lot of these players. I spoke to the team the night before the game. I work at Boston University. 5 Boston University players are on the U.S. team.
Wow.
So it was exciting for me. As you can see, I'm like a child. And it was for them. It was their moment.
He's talking to Rob Schmidt on Newsmax, by the way.
This is what they dreamed about. I've talked to these players many times over the years, and many of them said, they grew up watching Miracle. They grew up watching our team and what we did. And now that was their moment, and I'm so proud.
Can you believe that's been 46 years, and the movie Miracle is still gigantic? I just saw a documentary the other night on that team. Here's a little more from Micah Ruzioni. Democrats all been out of shape because Kash Patel went over there and had a few beers.
You know what? I know Mr. Patel is a big hockey fanatic. He plays a lot of hockey. He loves the game. He plays the game. Good for him. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not a political guy. I don't get into politics and all, but you know what? And I've said this, and I'll probably get in trouble. I've been saying it all along. I'll never be a police officer or a firefighter or somebody in the military who protects and serves our country. There's no greater feeling than putting on a USA jersey.
I know.
You're not playing for Chicago or Boston. You're not playing for a Super Bowl or a Stanley Cup. You're playing for a gold medal, and you're representing your country. And no team did it better than our men and women's team did. And saying how much they love this country and how fortunate they are to be in this country and to play for the United States. It's special. It means something. And I think everybody saw that. When you saw that from the podium right there, you know how proud they were to represent the United States. And I get it. People have their own opinions on what's happening, right or wrong. But it's a moment like this that makes us realize why we live in the greatest country in the world.
Yeah, 250th year of our great country. I'm glad I'm here for it, and also glad that Donald Trump is the president. And I'm also glad that more and more Democrats are not going to be attending the State of the Union, because honestly, who wants them there? They hate America. They've done their level best to destroy the country, open the border, cause untold damage without saying a damn thing. Honestly, bye-bye. We have no time for your awfulness. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets that keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/newsmax. Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets that keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/newsmax.
Donald Trump's election. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
It is the Rob Carson Show. By the way, Senator Tommy Tuberville is going to join us next hour. How cool is that? I know, I'm pretty excited about it. Then Brigadier General Blaine Holt will join us the hour after that. So we've got a loaded show today. It's awesome. Yesterday on the Harpies from Hell I'm sorry, I'm at The View. They sound so much alike. This is some of the girls on The View talking about Kash Patel going over to see the U.S. Olympic team. He was invited into the locker room to have some beers, and they got all butthurt about it.
This is not even the first time he's dealing with this issue. Correct. Remember, last year there were all those times when he was using the government-funded...
They should really make watching The View part of the prison regimen for punishing male inmates.
The taxpayer-funded plane.
Can you even imagine, my God?
To go visit...
I mean, I'll take solitary confinement. I just don't make me watch The View.
His girlfriend, I think he's dating a country singer.
Yes. Food and water, dirty water, I don't care.
Flies her over to her events, and they attend fundraisers and go on vacations on the public-funded plane. And frankly, he
didn't have any trouble with old Hunter Biden flying all over the place, I guess. Here's Dan Bongino's response. He was deputy FBI director under Kash Patel.
Yeah, well, listen, Kash loves the USA, loves hockey. And I guess he loves beer. I don't know. I thought he was a bourbon guy. But if this is what you're going to melt down about,
I know.
I probably did about 10 or 15 meetings about Olympics planning. The left doesn't know this, but the Summer Olympics are coming up in this place called Los Angeles. It's in the United States. You may have heard of it. So the FBI has a significant footprint in the security planning.
There's that.
So for him to go over there and take a look at what's going on in Milan, what they're doing about drones, UAPs, and and other things.
Yeah.
I've only had about 15 meetings on this myself, and then he goes to a game at the end, and they invite him in a locker room, and he pops a brewski. You know, keep crying, man. Whatever. Tell your story, walking. Doesn't bother me. I don't give a damn.
I would much rather have him than Jim Comey or Chris Wray, who weaponized the DOJ to take down a president and his members of his party and his voters. So I'd much rather have that any day of my life than the jerks who were in charge of the FBI when Joe Biden was the president. So there is that. And here is, oh man, this is almost like the crazy Karen of the day. Here's a crazy liberal Karen, probably owns at least, I'm thinking on a scale of 1 to 100 cats, probably in the 60s.
I hope that when the men's U.S. hockey team issues their official apology,
yeah, that's going to happen.
I hope that nobody forgives them.
Oh.
I hope that everybody tells them to pound sand.
That's not going to happen. Yeah, so.
Because those men represent the United States and everybody in it,
well, you certainly do not,
including women. It was almost as if because there was a Trump loyalist, culty cabinet appointee in their midst, that they were no longer required to follow the rules of decorum.
Yeah.
They no longer...
You were in a hockey locker room after a historic victory with a bunch of 20-something-year-old dudes. Dear God, woman!
Had to treat the women as equals. They were allowed to let their true emotion...
Wow, I feel like I'm being married again. Holy hell. Woo, woo, woo. What just happened? What just happened? My God in heaven. Here is a Boomer Esiason talking last night. I think he was talking on Fox about the amazing event that happened that insane Karens like that don't understand, never will, and who gives a rat's behind about them.
If you don't understand the story of Johnny Gaudreau himself, he was nicknamed Johnny Hockey. He went to Boston College where my kids went. I watched him a lot.
It's another reason to absolutely love the historic victory and the awesome young men and the women's team, by the way, who won gold this year.
He was a smaller player. He didn't get picked the first time around, and then he finally made it onto the national stage, and he was picked for this team.
He was, yeah.
And he was going to be on this team.
He was.
And, when he and his brother were killed in August of 2024, I mean, it was just a death blow to this entire organization.
You would think that this would bring the country together, but insane, crazy Karen over here, there's no talking to them.
Of men and women, both sides of it, that were just completely brokenhearted over it. And I think it's part of their story, of course, and to see the Gaudreau family there, to see Johnny's mom and dad there, and also to have his brother Matthew remembered, and then to have those two kids in this photo. Every single person in America had to be crying at that moment. I mean, that was true patriotism.
That was absolutely amazing. And they're going to be at the State of the Union tonight, and the Democrat Party, in all of its petulance and its anger and its filthy, rotten corruption and its caterwauling and its temper tantrum that's been going on for a decade now, burning its way across America in summer 2020. Black Lives Matter, all of this nonsense. In the first year of the Trump administration, Elon Musk is a Nazi protest, burning Tesla dealerships, No Kings protests with dissipated like a fart in the wind, and then more and more temper tantrums. Calling ICE agents Nazis, attacking them in Minneapolis and other cities. Honestly, Democrats, you need to get a friggin' grip. And I think you need to treat it like the Democrat Party and the left, like the relatives and friends that you have who don't talk to you anymore because maybe you voted for Donald Trump. You got to let them go. There's nothing you can do about them. Let them go off and live in misery, live in absolute misery. Trust me, I've got many people in my life. One woman who actually died of cancer used to call me her broadcast son, and she got terminal cancer diagnosis. Did not inform me. I lived 90 miles away. She had it for about 6 months. Did not inform me, and I had to find out about how she died without knowing she even had it. That's how much she hated the fact that I like Donald Trump. So you got to kind of leave them alone. Just let them go. Let them. They're nuts. They're out of their minds. There's nothing you can do about them. There's nothing you can do about them. Let them go. Celebrate tonight's event. There are a lot of Democrats who are not going. I say, Oh, my God, what a gift. And then the rest of them are either going to be petulant jerks or they're just going to sit there in stone silence, which is even better. Oh, my God. It's like when your kid gives you the silent treatment after throwing a temper tantrum, crossing his arms and sitting in the corner. You're like, woo, peace and quiet. Awesome. This is exactly what I'm waiting for. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to talk about another thing here. You know, this weekend, Gavin Newsom insulted black people like, he's want to do because the Democrat Party, they say things like black people can't get IDs because they're either not smart enough or they don't know how to use a computer or they might have a criminal record. And they've also said that women can't get an ID either. And here's the problem. They say there's 20 million people in our country, legal people who have no ID, and they don't exist. That's a complete fabrication and a complete lie because you need ID for everything to survive, unless you're a homeless person living under a bridge. But even then, I think you're probably going to need an ID. If somebody gives you a 20 and you want to buy that fifth of Jim Beam or whatever, you're going to have to go in there and show the guy at the liquor store that you're 21 years old. So there is that. The only 20 million people in the country without ID are here illegally. That said, this is Gavin Newsom at this book event. He's got a book. What the hell is this book? It's so terrible. His book is called, hold on, Young Man in a Hurry, A Memoir of Discovery. Oh, my God. That's the name of his book. That's the name of his book. His book is called Young Man in a Hurry, A Memoir of Discovery. He's in Atlanta with the mayor of Atlanta, predominantly black crowd, and he says that I'm illiterate and dumb just like you.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon
yes, you. Everything you do is try to impress people so they'll vote for you.
I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy.
I'm dumb like you.
And I'm not trying to offend anyone.
Well, you just did.
Trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy.
Uncomfortable laugh by the mayor.
I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
Wow.
Maybe the wrong business to be in.
Yeah, he can't read. That's fantastic. Now, on the other side of the break here, I've got a soundbite from a few months ago that proved that what he just said there was a lie because he's saying he has dyslexia or something. There's never been a diagnosis of dyslexia, but he literally threw all the dyslexic kids under the bus. We're going to cover that in a second. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
680 WCBM.
I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
There you go.
Maybe
it's Gavin Newsom saying, no, read. He's standing there talking in front of a black audience. I can't read just like you. Here's the problem. He was doing his idiotic podcast a couple months ago. There was a book author.
You've written a hell of a book, and I don't say that lightly. I went through it in a quick hour and a half, almost 2 hours. And trust me, I don't read very fast. But it reads at an unbelievable pace. It's so well written.
Wow.
And of course, it's so familiar because I felt a little bit adjacent so much of the subject matter. But it's 18.
Is it a book about completely creepy fake people?
Chapters. It's an impressive piece of work.
Yeah, and you are too. You are an impressive piece of work. I'll tell you that. Wow. I mean, honestly, I would not buy a car from him. I would not want him dating my daughter. I wouldn't want to shake his hand. My God. Who would vote for that? Oh my God. Kurt in Edgewood. Hello there, Kurt. Welcome to the Rob Carson Show. What's on your mind?
Hi, it's Edgewater. I just wanted to say 8 o'clock tonight, it's going to be freezing down on the mall, so maybe they should have a global warming meeting at the same time.
Yeah, the bunch of dour, unhappy people are going to meet down on the National Mall for what they're calling the People's State of the Union or something, and everyone there is a despicable and unlikable person.
Yeah, there might be a nice smell coming off the Potomac, too, which they created.
Dude, it's going to smell like weed, patchouli, and body odor. Like a typical Democrat meeting is what it's going to smell like. But we'll be inside.
You're doing a great job, Rob. I really like your show.
God bless you, brother. And I by the way, I love Edgewater, by the way. I don't know why I wrote down Edgewood, but I really do. I love it out there on the shore. Appreciate you. Linda in Pasadena, Maryland. Hello, Linda. What's up? Linda, are you there?
Oh, maybe she's dropped.
She might have dropped off. Well, gosh darn it. You want to hear how well things are going in California? This is Elaine Culotti. She is an entrepreneur in California, in Gavin Newsom's California. Wait till you hear what it's like doing business out there.
In California, with the constraints from Sacramento, homeless people can sleep in the front door of your business, and you are not allowed to touch them.
No.
Do you know that it is okay for a person to defecate in the middle of the median of your street if they're 200 feet away from a bathroom?
Oh, okay.
Yet, if your dog does, you have to pick it up. But a person does not have to pick up behind themselves.
Linda called back.
We've lost the plot.
Wow.
We have lost the plot.
Yeah.
We have to enforce rules.
You know, you're walking your peekapoo over here, and he leaves a little jewel there that's the size of a thimble, and somebody will scream at you if you don't pick it up. Meanwhile, you got what's his face over here, the homeless dude, taking a Jersey steamer in the middle of the median. Oh my God! Oh, California is so bleeped. Linda is back. Linda, hello, welcome to the Rob Carson Show. Go right ahead.
Yeah, hi.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, of course.
I think what Cash Patel was great, and I wanted to remind Maryland that Van Hollen used our tax dollars to go across to Mexico to entertain and try to help an illegal criminal alien. So, from that point fingers, he probably did it on his own time. I think that's wonderful. He's supporting the United States, and that's what I wanted to say.
Better to have a beer with the U.S. Gold men's hockey team than a margarita with a gang member who beat his wife. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
That's what stood out. I'm like,
I know. The Democrat Party, they're intellectually and morally bankrupt. They're not worth our time. I'm glad they're not going to be there.
And I'm embarrassed with all I live in Maryland, like I said, and I'm embarrassed with all our Democrat.
Yeah, you shouldn't be embarrassed because you voted for. You didn't vote for them, so you shouldn't feel embarrassed.
No, I didn't.
No, you should feel embarrassed for them, but you see, they have no shame. So I appreciate you. Thanks for the call. By the way, doing this big bus ride from Balmer, the home of our anchor station, WCBM. I know all you guys out there, KSCO in Santa Cruz, I get it. This is my anchor station over here, though. I love you guys. We're going to do an event with you eventually. But here's the deal. We're doing a deal with this. We're going to, on June 11th, we're going to take a big luxury coach from Baltimore to Gettysburg and tour the battlefields and have lunch at this place called the Dobbin House and see where Abe delivered the speech and the whole deal. We sold the first bus out in a couple days. We got another bus. So if you want to get on the bus, apparently there's going to be another special guest to be announced soon. Not sure who that is. But I guess we're going to have another guest on the bus. And if you want to get on the second bus, the tickets are going quickly. Go to WCBM.com if you're around this area, if you maybe at Rehoboth, even all the way up in New Hampshire with the Benny Media Stations. You want to come down to D.C., you want an excuse to get away, then come down on June the 11th, and we'll be going to Gettysburg on June the 11th from WCBM.com, WCBM.com if you want tickets. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone? What do you mean? I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take NEWSMAX Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text RULE to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of NEWSMAX Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of NEWSMAX Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text RULE to 215215. That's RULE to 215215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Trying to make afternoons. Stay up to date on retirement trends, how the IRA rollover process works, and why investors are turning to physical gold. Kenny is a national talk show host with decades of experience in the markets. Listen for Kenny's insights in The Gold Show every Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m.
Transmission incoming from the big giant head. You want a chance to win tickets to your favorite events or an opportunity to win prizes? How about interact with your favorite shows and talk show hosts?
Hello?
Then download the WCBM mobile app at the App Store. It's free with no monthly subscription fees. Listen at home, at work, and even in the car. Listen live or on demand. The best things in life are free with the WCBM mobile app. Download it today and keep listening to Talk Radio 680 WCBM and 99.9 FM in Harford County.
Here's Gavin Newsom responding to the criticism about him, saying that he can't read, just like the black people in his audience this weekend. Quote, "You don't give an SH about the President of the United States of America posting an 8 video of President Obama calling African nations bleep holes." Well, a lot of them are, particularly Somalia. It's a meth lab trailer park of the world. But you're going to call me a racist for talking about my lifelong struggle with dyslexia? Spare me your fake bleeping outrage. Whatever. He thinks he had a rough life because his mom had to work and he had to live on Stouffer's lasagna. Wow, if I could have lived on Stouffer's lasagna. When I was in college, I would have killed for Stouffer's lasagna. I went 4 years eating nothing but bologna and peanut butter sandwiches. And on payday, if I was lucky, being able to order pizza and no fresh produce for 4 years. And no television, no TV, no phone, no lights, no motor cars, not a single luxury. It was terrible. Anyway, wham, wham, boo, friggity who, soy boy. Soy boy, spoiled little soy boy. Where'd you get your $8 million for that mansion of yours, by the way? Where'd you get that $8 million there, sunshine? What sort of things did you have to perform? Gold's at about 51.5 today, so it's staying above $5,000, and it looks like it's going to be there for a while. I'm seeing this ANZ sees gold hitting $5,800 an ounce in the second quarter. Hell, it was just $5,600 3 weeks ago, and then it dropped, and now it's back. Now it's been back this week above $5,000, well above $5,000. I've got some gold with Birch Gold. Thank you very much. Got a couple little ounces, and I got these little coins, and I got this little grams of gold over here. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I don't exactly have a waiting pool of gold that I can roll around in like Richie Rich, but maybe someday I'll do that. Like Aladdin, when he was in the tiger head and went down there, and someday maybe, I don't know, who knows. International disputes, inflation, rising natural debt, digital currency. There's a never-ending list of reasons why gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. And if you just text my name, Rob, to the number 989898, they're going to give you all the information you need. No obligation at all. No obligation at all. A-plus rating from the BBB, tens of thousands of happy customers. You're thinking about that scene in Aladdin now, aren't you? Where he went into the tiger head and he went down there, and he goes down and he dives in the gold and everything, and then he rubs the lamp and it comes out. Anyway. Oh, my God, how many times I watch that movie. Text Rob to 989898. Gen Z kids, Text Rob to 989898 and to get the ball rolling on gold while it's still above $5,000 and on the way up. There you go. Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show. Senator Tommy Tuberville, Coach, joins us next hour to talk about the State of the Union and the SAVE Act and much, much more on hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 2. And tonight, of course, is the second State of the Union. The President of the United States will be addressing Congress. And, of course, it's the 250th anniversary of the birth of the nation. And I think that there are a lot of things that are in motion that are ethereal, to be quite honest. First of all, Donald Trump's ascendancy after numerous political persecutions, a raid on Mar-a-Lago, 4 trials that were based on nothing, an attempt to take his fortune, throw him in jail, 2 impeachments based on nothing, and FBI investigation of Russia collusion that didn't exist. All of this, and then of course, 2 assassination attempts. Now add 3, counting the one last weekend. And the Democrat Party is in free fall. They don't know what to protest. They don't know what they're protesting. They think Donald Trump's some sort of a dictator, but nothing he's doing is dictatorial. And the nation is roaring back and proud to be American. Of course, the U.S. Olympics men's and women's hockey team beating Canada in overtime and bringing home the gold, and a resurgence of patriotism, people crying when the national anthem is playing rather than kneeling. And all the Democrat Party can do is sit there and be and whine about it, just be and whine about it, and caterwaul and screech, and they'll have the next thing. It's 1 week it's Pete Hegseth is a war criminal, and the drug boat captains were fishermen, and Elon Musk is a Nazi, and the signal gain, and I just honestly, shut the hell up. Thank you. Bottom of the hour, we got Tommy Tuberville, senator. This guy was the head coach of the Auburn University, 1990-2008. Head coach, University of Mississippi, 95-98. Texas Tech University, 2010-2012. University of Cincinnati, from 2013 to 2016. Won 5 National Coach of the Year awards. Now he's a senator. He's kicking butt. We're going to talk to him at the bottom of the hour. That's going to be pretty awesome. I want to get to the Angel Moms meeting yesterday at the White House. Donald Trump remembering people who would otherwise be forgotten, murdered by illegal aliens brought into the country by Democrats. We'll get to that in a second. But, the Democrat Party, the left, are insane. There is a mania that has infected their brains. We call it Trump derangement syndrome. And I'm absolutely being serious. This is not to make fun. It is just to acknowledge never before have we ever seen on social media white liberal Karens showing the world how ill they are. We've had a spate of healthcare givers saying that they would inject ICE agents with poison. They would not treat Trump supporters in emergency rooms, threatening to kill people, ICE agents. I mean, just it's bad enough when you have these thoughts, but when you share them on social media, that shows you're really nuts. And I've got one today. Boy, I tell you. This is a crazy cat lady of the day, by the way. We're going to do this every day. This one is unbelievable. I do mean this. I hope someone in her family, maybe parents, because she's in her 20s, you can tell. I hope one of her parents sees this and goes, my God, we've got to talk. But I want you to listen to this.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God! Things keep happening, I wake up, oh my God, I wake up every day and it's like one thing after another, and it's never ending.
Okay, this is mania. This is mania, all right? There is no doubt that this person has been drinking the Kool-Aid of the Democrat Party, driven to a point of insanity after 10 years, probably when she was starting in her teen years, saying that Donald Trump is a Nazi, Donald Trump is a fascist, the Republican Party are white supremacists. I can go on, and this is the result.
And as there's just the seconds are going to go by, there's seconds, and then there's minutes, and then there's hours, and then there's days, and then there's weeks, and then there's months, and years, and lifetimes! And if reincarnation is real, let me off the ride. I don't want to do it. Unlatch the fucking seatbelt. unlatch the seatbelt like this and let me out. And I feel so much, mainly anger, but just a lot, just everything from everyone and at all points in time, everything, everywhere, all at once. It's me, and I want to go outside right now, and I want to kick the air, and I want to take the dirt from the floor and shove it in my mouth, and I want to pluck the wasps off the trees and shove them into my eyes until I bleed, but I can't do any of that. I can't do any of that because, one, it'll hurt me, but two, if people see, they're going to think I'm crazy, and I'm not crazy. They don't understand.
I think we're well beyond that.
It's like, and I want off, I want out. Oh, and things are going to keep happening. It's just, and I can't get out. So if you have any answer as to when it will end, let me know in the comments below.
Yeah, let me know in the comments below. My God. Of course, you've got a Democrat member of Congress, Angie Craig, who said she'd rather stick forks in her eyes than watch Donald Trump do the State of the Union.
Rather stick forks in my eyes than be here tonight to listen to Donald Trump.
Yeah. I wonder where that comes from. Way to go there, Angie. Way to go, Ange. Way to go, you fanatical Marxist from hell. Honestly. Normally I play the crazy cat lady theme song there, but this isn't funny. This isn't funny. This is mania. This is the result of 10 years of a drumbeat, not only by the national media, but by the Democrat Party and by academia. This is probably the product of someone who was shuttered by COVID, couldn't do anything, probably told that if she was unhappy, she should become a man. Honestly, this has been done before in history. This has been done before in history, and it never ends well. I'm hoping. I know we are. I know we're turning things around. My God. I mean, really, my God. On top of everything else the Democrat Party could do. This is New Jersey General Assembly. Democrats have introduced legislation. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? It's entitled the Fight Unlawful Conduct, Keep Individuals and Communities Empowered Act. It's the FICE Act. Yes, for unlawful carnal knowledge, ICE Act. That's the adults here. These are the adults in the Democrat Party. The FICE Act would establish a state-level civil cause of action allowing individuals to sue over alleged violations of constitutional rights arising from federal immigration enforcement activity. All because the Democrat Party wants to keep a group of people here who they brought in over the southern border for 4 years, loaded them up with free stuff so they could be part of their census to maintain their representation in Congress and to steal elections and to continue to steal from us. That is your Democrat Party. This is why they will not succeed. They will not succeed because you cannot win this way. There is a thing called karma. There is a thing called good and evil doesn't win. If it did, the entire continent of Europe would be speaking German right now. I'll tell you what, I don't even know. CNN and MS Now did not take President Donald Trump's National Angel Family Day ceremony at the White House on their broadcast on Monday. What it was bringing in parents and relatives of people who have been murdered by illegal aliens coming across the southern border because they let in 20 million of them unvetted for disease, criminality, or mental illness. And they wreaked havoc on the country. Here is the President of the United States. I mean, he just sounds extreme, honestly. He sounds like a Nazi. He sounds like a white supremacist.
We gathered here today for a truly solemn occasion. Throughout this hall, I am joined.
Yeah, MSNBC and CNN didn't carry it because they're ashamed, if they had any shame.
By heartbroken Americans who have lost parents, siblings, children, grandchildren.
They don't want to admit the policies that they supported did this. They don't want to feel any blame for it.
And treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration led in by the past administration. Millions and millions of people from jails, millions and millions of people from countries that we don't want to know about.
I know more families affected by the death of a loved one from fentanyl than the death of a loved one by COVID.
Drug dealers, murderers, 11,888 murderers were allowed into our country.
Your Democrat Party releases them from jail rather than turning them over to ICE. Releases murders, releases rapists, releases child molesters into the community so ICE has to go get them.
By the Biden administration.
Yeah.
These are the angel families that we love. That for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored, and I've seen it.
Yeah, and they did it yesterday as well. On the other side of the break, Laken Riley's mom, some other angel moms as well, in a ceremony that once again was ignored by the leftist media. I don't call it mainstream anymore because CNN and MS Now are no longer mainstream. They don't have very many people watching them. The leftist media on the other side of the break. Let's come back and do that. This is the Rob Carson Show.
One thing I would like to see updated is the word homeless to the word unhoused.
How about new?
Yeah, that's the last 4 years under Joe Biden, that ridiculous woke nonsense. Fortunately, we have Donald Trump as the President of the United States doing the State of the Union tonight. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure, by the way, to watch it on Newsmax, Newsmax 2, we call it Into, or on the Newsmax app. You can get a Newsmax Plus membership as well. Affinity and I believe Greta Van Susteren are going to be doing the play-by-play. So it'll be exciting. Rob Finnerty and Greta Van Susteren watching the State of the Union tonight on Newsmax. Only one place to watch it is Newsmax. Thank you very much. Laken Riley's mom was at the White House yesterday, an event about angel moms and relatives of people who were murdered by illegal aliens. I could say that now. They said forever we couldn't say that, but I can say it now, you see, because they're illegal and they're from another country, which makes them aliens. So there you go. Here's Laken Riley's mom.
I think that a lot of people feel like that President Trump is maybe different than the version I've gotten to know. And I just can't thank you enough. You have said from the beginning, literally the day after this happened, that you would not forget about Laken. You weren't president at that time, and you have not forgotten.
Wow.
You have fought a fight that most people would not want to have to fight. Most people wouldn't. They would just say it's just easier not to do this. And President Trump you are doing a thankless job that most people just wouldn't do.
Yeah, he didn't even get noticed yesterday. CNN, MS Now wouldn't cover this event. They don't give a rat's behind. Remember when Joe Biden didn't even know Laken Riley's name?
It's not about him. It's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really.
Here we go. What about Laken Riley, she said?
Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley is Lincoln Riley.
An innocent young woman who was killed.
Yeah, you might want to get her name right, you jerk.
By an illegal.
Yeah,
that's right.
Who you let in.
But how many of thousands of people being killed by illegals?
Yeah, and you let them in. My God. Wow. Wow. This is Jody Jones, I should say, whose brother Rocky was killed by an illegal. Talking yesterday, invited to speak from the president, did a little mic drop moment, if you will.
President Trump, I want you to know, no matter what the fake media says about you, the American people love you, and we will support you all the time. We love you.
There you go.
I'm sick and tired of hearing these Democratic politicians stand up on these podiums and say how sorry they are for seeing these criminal illegal aliens being ripped apart from their families.
Yeah.
What about us?
Yeah.
What about the American family? What about us? We mean something too. And this man right here understands it.
I got to tell you, I've told you this story before, how Donald Trump watches my TV show. It's called Rob Carson's What in the World? And I was fortunate enough, Chris Ruddy invited me to have dinner at Mar-a-Lago, and I met the president. And when I was, my mother was dying, I shared it on the end of the show, and I'd say, "We please pray for my mother." And then one day I said my mother passed, and I went to her funeral, and I came back on Monday morning, and there was a note from Donald Trump. And it was from him. It was, your mom, Bonnie, must have been an amazing woman. She raised an amazing son. And, he remembers things like this. And that's what makes him extraordinary. And this is why the Democrats are so wrong about everything. Here's a couple of other angel moms who were here yesterday.
Harvey was shot in the chest and killed. My husband, Javier Sr., was shot in the back. They just kept shooting. You could hear the bullets just whizzing past you.
Listen to this.
Javier Sr. returned fire with this weapon, and I grabbed the AR that Harvey had attempted to defend us with. And I returned fire as well. Had we not fired back, they would have killed everyone there, including the children.
And the tears rolled down my face as I told him the story of how our youngest son Joshua was brutally beaten, tortured, strangled to death, and his body set on fire. He never ever looked away from my pain. He looked me straight in the eye and he said, "I will never forget the story of your sweet son, and I will never give up fighting for the American family."
Yeah, he's a Nazi. He is a white supremacist. Actually, he's the first president we've had in Washington, D.C. who gave a rat's behind about us in a very long time is what it really is. It's what it really is, I got to tell you. And, of course, the Democrats ignored it yesterday. Americans hunkering down in Mexico. I would not go to Mexico right now if I were you. No sirree, Bob. And I've never felt terribly secure in Mexico. I went twice a couple of years ago for my nephew's wedding and for another trip to meet some friends. But I would definitely reconsider. But Americans are hunkering down. This is Art Del Cueto talking about the killing of one of the big drug lords down there. El Cueto, I believe, was the name. He was, and how big these cartels are, and how Mexico better crack down on this, or we're going to have to do something about it.
Look, they're going to continue. These individuals, they have a certain way that they operate. The minute that the Mencho was killed, somebody else took his place. There's a name already coming up.
Where'd they get all their money, by the way? Drugs and trafficking children and women.
Abraham.
Across the open border, Joe Biden.
I know is what they're saying.
Yeah.
He goes by the name El Yogurt, which translates to the yogurt of all names. Yeah. I don't know. If that strikes a lot of fear, but obviously these individuals are ruthless regardless of what nickname they have. And when one goes down, the other one's ready to take his place. He sent out a video throughout the communities in Mexico. This is something that people need to understand. These cartels have amassed billions of dollars. This is what they've been doing for generations after generations. It's not, they don't retire and then have somebody else take their place. These individuals it's a long line within the family. They've been doing this for a long time. My big concern is, and I've been in contact with some U.S. citizens that are in Mexico right now. They haven't been able to leave Guadalajara. Right. The flights have been grounded. What I'm hearing is they will be grounded for the next 3 days.
Yeah. Again, I wouldn't be going to Mexico anytime soon. And it's about time Mexico got its bleep together. They've been a sucker fish on America for a very long time. And I'm hoping that this will effectively hinder travel and commerce from Mexico until they get their stuff together and take down these cartels. And hopefully we'll send in some helicopters with Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger and take them out. That'd be kind of good. Paint some targets. Boom! Let's take a break and come back. Senator Tommy Tuberville joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
He's got these magical doctors who claim that he was shot in the ear, but his ear, I guess, grew back.
Joy Reid is a nutcase. Says I wasn't shot. That's why she doesn't have a job. 'Cause brain she hasn't got. Common sense she hasn't got. Joy Reid's insane. Her opinions are inane. Now she is unemployed as she should be. Joy for you and me. If I ran MSNBC, this is what I'd do. I'd tell Joe and Mika to hit the road, and I'd can Matt Cow too. Joy Reid is a nut. She's out on her butt. Me in the White House made her lose her mind. With hatred, she is blind.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets that keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/newsmax.
The Democrats shut down and them all even down will be a gift to me. I see it as a firing opportunity. Let the layoffs begin. America will win. Just you wait and see. The Democrats just gave me an opportunity. Now I have a chance, along with J.D. Vance, to make us more waste-free. A federal budget cutting opportunity. The budget I'll reduce when thousands are cut loose. Less bureaucracy. I will make this another opportunity. This is a big time opportunity.
As for tomorrow night, you've given Democratic members the option to skip the event if they want to. For those who choose to attend, how would you like to see them behave?
Well, listen, it's my expectation that members who choose to attend will be there in silent defiance. Of course, skeptical of...
I think it's a pretty good deal, man. The Democrat Party convinced themselves that they're going to sit there in silence or not attend. I don't think you could ask for something better than that. I mean, if you were praying to God, what could happen at the State of the Union? That would be amazing. The Democrats sitting there and shutting their damn mouths or not showing up is a pretty darn good option. Senator Tommy Tuberville from the great state of Alabama on the Newsmax Hotline. How are you on this glorious Tuesday, sir?
I'm excited about tonight. I'm looking forward to the president's speech and hope these...
He pronounced it Tuberville.
And listen and learn something because they don't want to learn anything. They want to destroy a country. They don't want to build our country back after that devastating 4 years of Joe Biden.
I know, and they've been throwing a temper tantrum for a decade, but they've really put it on steroids. Every week there's something new. One week it's, Pete Hegseth is a war criminal, Elon Musk is a Nazi, Donald Trump is a king, and honestly, they're just a bunch of petulant toddlers. Maybe you should consider passing legislation to create a daycare center on Capitol Hill for the Democrats.
Well, we could put a daycare center in for them if they ran it. Though they'd steal all the money.
Yeah,
I see that up in Minneapolis.
Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point.
You can't make it up what these people try to do.
I know.
And now they've got this lady that calls herself a moderate.
Yeah.
Over in Virginia, this new governor, and she's going to give the rebuttal.
Yeah.
And they asked me what I thought about it, and I said, "Well, hell, she's a communist."
Yeah. Well, Senator, I just moved to Virginia 6 months ago. I live in Northern Virginia. I didn't want to live in Maryland. I lived in Maryland for a dozen years, moved to Kansas City, moved back here, and I thought, okay, well, here we go. I'm in Virginia at least. And then this woman lied about who she was. The party in power there lied about who they were and got her in office and then unveiled essentially a communist platform about as left of center as Zoran Mondami. Do you think that's fair to be able to lie about what you are, to campaign as a moderate, and then unveil all this bat guano lunacy that you never told anybody you planned on doing? Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, no, it's not fair, and the people should have her impeached. I mean, you can't do what she's doing after running the campaign that she ran. Absolutely lied, because that's what the Democrats do now.
Yeah,
they're great at lying. They'll look you straight in the face and lie about something. Look at Schumer and Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. All these people 20 years ago talked about, hey, we got to have closed borders and we got to have ID to vote and all these things. Now they're just totally opposite because somebody's paying them to be that way, to run our country in the ground. It's absolutely amazing.
It is remarkable. The Democrat Party, I like to say, are intellectually and morally bankrupt. And now, I don't recall ever hearing in the last few years the Democrat Party saying, here's what they wanted to do to make the country better. They lied about the green energy, New Deal, all that crap. They lied about increasing the size of the government for COVID and then looting it for the last few years. But when have they said that, oh, yeah, we want to do this to make things better? We are just being opposite of Donald Trump, no matter how good what Donald Trump is doing.
Open borders, raise taxes, take in the third world country people so they can turn our country into third world country. That's exactly what they're thinking. That's exactly what they're doing. These people can't continue to come. President Trump's trying to slow it down. He's got the borders closed. They have, as you just said, they have no plan for any kind of success. Everything they do is for failure of our country, starting with the education program, trans men and women's sports, this nonsense of DEI, social justice. It just makes you sick at your stomach to see what they've done. And all it is a replica of Europe.
Yes.
And surely to goodness they can learn from what Europe is
not against you. Make the switch and feel the difference of truly fast, modern antivirus protection. For a limited time, you could save 60% on WebRoot when you go to webroot.com/Carson.
Argue. Make them do a real filibuster. Make them take Mr. Smith back to Washington again. And that, I think, will illuminate for the American people how out of touch Democrats are. And by the way, we're confident in this legislation. Look, I'm running to be Attorney General. It's common sense, and that's why the American people support it.
Yeah, and 2024 was about returning from nonsense to common sense. That's what I said. Senator Tommy Tuberville from the great state of Alabama on the phone with us. Why the holdups from people like Mitch McConnell and John Thune? Why is this?
Well, most of them believe in tradition. And as I tell them, listen, we don't work for the Senate. We work for the American people.
Yes, sir.
If something needs to change to make this country better, so be it. Now, the problem we have is we have 15 states in this country that are totally blue. They're going to cheat in every election.
Yep.
They're going to steal every taxpayer dime they can.
Yep.
They're going to do everything possible to bring this country to a third world country, bring in illegal immigrants. And so you're never going to get any kind of organization from their elections in those 15 states. So it's over.
Yep.
So we got 35 states that we have to win over to get a president back into office again. And if we don't do it, we're going to continue to lose states every year. So that's the reason we need to federalize the federal elections and make sure that every vote counts.
Absolutely, 100%. So the State of the Union tonight, this should be pretty good. What are you expecting the president to share tonight? I mean, obviously, the list of successes has been pretty remarkable when you look at this past year.
Oh, yeah. I just hope the president just gets up there and looks over to Democrats, a few that's going to show up, and just tell them all go to hell. We're going to save this country, and we're going to do what's right, and we're going to quit listening to this nonsense about open borders and about how our military is too tough, or law enforcement is too tough. The American people deserve the best country on the face of the earth.
Yes, sir.
It is that to a certain degree, but they are trying to bring it a notch or two below where it has been, and they want to continue that downward fall. So I hope the president, he'll get up there, obviously, to talk about his successes, but he needs to look them in the eye and say, listen, get on board or get out.
Yes,
you
sir.
don't like this country, get into something else. Get into some other business. We're not going to change. We're going to run this country the way the American people want to run it, the taxpayers, and the federal government needs to get out of the way.
Can you feel the pride welling up in the country? Because I can feel it. I felt it for the last year, and I said that our Donald Trump being elected after them throwing everything at him was a reaction to the evil that they had spread. And you know, with the win, the U.S. Olympic hockey teams and the men's hockey team are going to be there tonight. Honestly, I say to ignore the damn Democrats. They're nothing but bratty, spoiled, broken, awful people. And honestly, leave them in our dust. I like to say this year we need to overwhelm the left with joy and patriotism. And I think that is really happening. I think America's making a comeback, brother.
Exactly. They can't do anything on their own. There's no leadership whatsoever. They're followers. They want to go by this socialist book of communism, and they want to bring us all down because they feel like they can continue to steal everything they possibly can and do everything they can to stay in power. That's their total objective.
Yes,
their objective is not to make the country better. It's to make them better, them more powerful to where they can make all the decisions. And, again, President Trump has tried his dangest to get people on board on the Democrat side. Listen, we're trying to help the whole country. We're trying to help blue states as well as the red states.
Yes, sir.
But they want nothing to do with it. They hate him. They can't stand him. He's for a free society. And, again, all they want to do is follow in the footsteps of Europe and these woke countries. And President Trump he has finally said enough's enough. Western Hemisphere, we're going to protect you. Now we've got Canada that's lost their damn mind.
I know.
And we got Mexico that's going to be burning. If they don't ask for more help, well, we can go down there and help them.
Yes, sir.
If we get any American people killed, I guarantee you President Trump is taking the head south.
Oh, brother.
Military, and should.
You think something is going to happen to Iran here pretty soon? It sounds like the chess pieces have been moved into place, and I think it's an ideal opportunity after 47 years to take down the Ayatollah. They've caused so much death and destruction and terror in the world. What do you think?
Yeah, he's trying to do everything he can to get them to agree with something. The problem is, and I've even told the president this, the problem is any deal that they do, all they're going to do is the sanctions will lift. They will become a rich country again. They will continue to push back on the people that actually want to free Iran.
I know.
And they're going to build the power back again.
Yeah.
There's no way we can do that.
Yes, sir.
To me, something's got to be done, whether it's physical, some kind of kinetic invasion. Do something with their leadership. We just don't want to, he is trying to do everything he can possible to not go in there again. He's trying his best.
Absolutely.
But I'll tell you what, they're holding his feet to the fire. And this is one guy, if he tells you he's going to do something, get ready. He's going to do it. So they better do some kind of deal that's going to work for the people of Iran and work for people all over the world. But I got to have my doubts.
Well, to wrap things up, I want to mention, your prestigious career as a football coach, and I didn't realize you were at University of Cincinnati. I used to live in Cincinnati. Love me some Cincinnati. You a Skyline Chili fan?
Skyline Chili, Grater's Ice Cream.
Yes.
Barbecue. I'm trying to think of the name of the barbecue place.
Yeah, down there on the river, Montgomery Inn. It's pretty good. It's not
Montgomery
ain't as good as.
I had my radio show there. They have several locations.
Ain't as good as Kansas City. Ain't as good as Kansas City where I came from. What do you think of that Indiana team winning this year? That was something else, huh?
That was just unbelievable. That's how things have changed in college sports. With all the money flying around. But I'm glad to see it happen. Indiana they had for years wanted to be successful, and they went from the bottom to the top very quickly, and I was proud of what those kids did.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, Senator, I appreciate your time today. God bless you. Continue the good work. I know good things are going to happen in our 250th year, and I'm glad you're in D.C. fighting for us, sir.
Thank you. God bless.
You too, man. Appreciate you. By the way, if you guys want to check out he's at Tuberville, I should say, .senate.gov, or Coach Tommy Tuberville on Twitter. What an honor to have him on the show. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Pretty cool. I got to talk to the senator. It's kind of cool. Hey, how you doing, guys? Good to see you. Tommy is a no-nonsense good old boy. Yeah, he is. He is, absolutely. I wish I would have met him in Cincinnati. I lived there. I didn't live there when he was there coaching. Hi there, America Marcy. Hi, Gladys Kravitz. What's going on, Gladys? The original Karen. She was. Jamie Billett. Duckman, good to see you there. Hope you're enjoying the show today. I got some good news yesterday. I was looking at my Truth Social following. It's now at 1.43 million people following. Oh my God, I have a funny feeling the Prezi is helping me out a little bit. The President of the United States is a fan, and I have a funny feeling he gave me a little bit of help, give me a little bit of love. And I had a lot of people follow me on Truth Social last night because I mentioned that, and I try to populate all my social media with lots of good stuff. So no matter where it is, if you would just find it, I would appreciate you so much. Appreciate you so much if you do that. All righty, who's watching my Rumbly Roos? Hold on, I'm switching between these here. Kerry Corley and Sportech. How's things going on? How's things going over on the Facebookage? A lot of people watching on Facebook today, and the YouTubeage. Yeah. Willard Clark. Hello, Willard Clark. How you doing? All right, I gotta find something to talk about here. Hold on. I gotta find something to talk about here. Who we got? Oh, Tyreek. Haven't talked to Tyreek in a while. Tyreek in Ellicott City. Take me down to Ellicott City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. All right, here we go. This is not an EV. And it never will be. Although I've been kind of seeing these new hybrid trucks Dodge is coming out with, and I believe they're going to make the Scout, the International Scout, and they'll get like 700 miles on a charge and a fill-up. I think it's a plug-in hybrid kind of thing, so I got no problem with hybrid. Complete electric, though, is a waste, because right now most of the power you get is from coal-fired plants or natural gas, and you're kind of just adding a middleman there. So there's that. I do believe we have a Tyreek in Ellicott City, Maryland on the phone. Hello, Tyreek. How you doing, my friend?
Hi. I wanted to tell you, bomb, 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 bomberan, bomb, 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 bomberan, bomberan, into the sand. Nice. Bomberan, we'll be rocking and rolling, rocking in a bombing, bomberan, bomb, bomb.
Very nice.
Bomberan.
Very nice.
People are international criminals.
Yeah.
I have not heard once in the last month that anyone has recalled they had our diplomats from the embassy in Tehran for 444 days until Reagan took office.
Yep.
They're entitled to be paid back for that act.
Amen, brother. And all the murder they've caused and all the other mayhem and all the terror and whatnot, they need to be taken down. They need to be taken down. We had to bomb the tracks to Auschwitz, for God's sake.
And this is the time to do it. They're never going to be weaker than they are now.
Yep.
They've got a water crisis. They've got a monetary crisis.
Yep.
Obviously, their defensive radars have been destroyed by the Israelis.
Yep.
They're never going to be weaker than now.
Yeah, and there's also fewer single female goats over there. That's another thing. Very few single female goats over there, so they're really hurting.
That's what Yasser Arafat said to President Clinton.
Is that what he said?
He
All right.
said to President Clinton a piece of advice, Mr. Clinton, goats don't talk.
All right. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. Israel President Benjamin Netanyahu warned Monday Iran would face a force they could not even imagine. His remarks came as Boeing KC-135 fueling aircraft C-17 Globemaster transport planes were documented early in the day at Ben Gurion Airport. At least 2 refuelers reportedly arrived from an airbase in Qatar. You got the USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest aircraft carrier, seen near Crete. More than 200 U.S. air fighters now positioned across the Middle East. Something's happening. Something is happening. 85 aerial refueling tankers, more than 170 cargo aircraft have surged to the region since mid-February, marking the largest U.S. American naval and air power in the Middle East since the Iraq War. And I am hoping and praying that, and I have a feeling the president is being very deliberate about this because he wants to make sure that we get in and get out and take the B words down and take down the Ayatollah and let the people of Persia walk free for the first time in 47 years, since a year further than the U.S. men's hockey team won the gold. 1979, the Ayatollah. 1980, the men's hockey team. It's time to make history again. Let's take a break and come back. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
out.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 3. We've got Brigadier General Blaine Holt joining us at the bottom of the hour. And he will have some expert insight into what's going on with Iran. I mentioned last hour a piece, I believe this was in Breitbart, about how a lot of things happening, refueling aircraft, C-17 Globemaster transport planes, 2 aircraft carriers, 200 U.S. fighter jets now positioned across the Middle East, and the leadership in Iran is being belligerent as ever, which I love, by the way, which I absolutely love. They are foolishly proud. I don't know what they're proud of, to be quite honest, because they're just a throwback 5th century bunch of idiots who've never invented anything. Just spread terror around the world, and I'm hoping and praying that we'll see history. We'll see the fall of the Ayatollah, and when that happens, it'll be dramatic and amazing. It'll be dramatic and amazing, so we'll talk to him then. Public Storage is moving headquarters out of L.A. because it's not business-friendly to work there anymore. The company, which earned $5 billion last year, moving from Glendale to Frisco, Texas. It's pretty bad when vacant buildings are moving out, because isn't that what a public storage place is? There's like one person working in the office. The rest of it's kind of vacant, just full of stuff. So Glendale, home to more than 50 years, moving its corporate headquarters to Frisco, Texas, near Dallas. Company operates more than 250 million square feet at 3,500 locations in 40 states. I have stuff in a public storage location in Kansas City. Do you know why your wife moves stuff to storage? Do you know why? Because it's the first step to making you forget about it so she can throw it away. I'm just going to tell you right now, if she says to you, I'm talking to the men in the crowd here, all right? Could be some of the women, I guess, whatever. Anyway. But if your wife says, hey, you know, we got a lot of stuff in our house here. I think we should probably get a storage space. And you're like, you know, you're right, honey. And then you'll go through it and you'll say, you know, all those other Elvis dolls from, 1985 that you've had forever. And, the sports memorabilia and those old records. And yeah, you know what? It's climate controlled. And then it won't get wet over there. It'll be well taken care of. And what she's really saying is, he's going to forget about it. And then I'm going to get rid of it. Just going to tell you that's what it is. That's what public storage is all about. She always brings it up. She says, hey, let's take some stuff over there because, look at all the room we're going to have. Ooh, you could get a new toolbox or something. And you know what she really wants to do? It's like separating you from your currency when you go to Vegas. They give you credits, or I don't think they do. Do they do chips anymore? I haven't been to Vegas in forever. It separates you from currency so you don't know how much money you're spending. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Rob Carson, your emotional baggage is arriving on carousels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, I still have some stuff over there. And when I go over to the public storage, I open it up and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I had that. Holy hell, that is amazing. I thought I got rid of that years ago. That Velvet Elvis I've had since 1990. Holy hell, I didn't even know I still had it. Okay, let's move on. Democrat states are losing population because Democrat policies are not working. Zohran Mamdani became the mayor of New York City and promised to usher in a new era of collectivism, the warmth of collectivism. He said they're going to have state-run grocery stores. You get free groceries. The only one lasted 1 week. 1 week. The city is literally becoming an S-hole. They don't know how to get rid of snow. They can't get people to shovel snow for $20 an hour, so they raised it to $30 an hour. They still couldn't get people to shovel snow for $30 an hour. Now, any moron other than Zohran would know you could buy a really nice commercial snowblower for $1,200, $1,500 and do the work of 10 people by just putting a city worker there. But this is like, the WPA with Franklin Roosevelt, paying people to dig holes and fill them up again. And now they're paying like $45 stupid dollars for people to shovel snow. I mean, honestly. And, of course, last night, Jake Tapper, threw a question at him about why you'd need 5 pieces of ID to shovel snow, but not to vote.
House Republicans are criticizing you for requiring workers to bring multiple forms of identification to sign up for that job. They tweeted, quote,
Let's get this straight. In Zoran Mamdani's socialist utopia, it takes 2 forms of ID to shovel snow, but no
Minimum.
ID to vote. Make it make sense, unquote. What's your response to that, sir?
Well, here in New York City, we follow the law, and it's federal law to require certain forms of identification in order for someone to actually be paid for this kind of a job. And so that's what we're asking for, 2 forms of identification. It's a long-standing...
Then why aren't you telling the federal government that is discriminatory, that they are requiring ID to work? Why aren't you saying that? Why are you saying this is Jim Snow 2.0? How dare you? Don't you know that black people can't get IDs and women can't get IDs? We can't have black people out here snow shoveling because of Jim Snow 2.0. Isn't that it, right? You know, you got to have ID to make a living, and it's racist to require it to vote. Why aren't you pitching a fit? Why aren't you pitching a fit about all the people who are being discriminated against when they could be out there shoveling snow, but they don't have ID because they're either too stupid or unable to get one? That maybe they're a disadvantage, don't know how to use the interweb. I don't even know. So many stupid things. That said, New York City's going to hell in a handbasket. Fareed Zakaria is on CNN. He's usually pretty liberal. He was on Bill Maher, and Rahm Emanuel is there. Rahm Emanuel's a possibility he could run for president, even though he looks like a creepy mortician. He looks like a creepy mortician, like the stereotypical creepy mortician in the scary movies and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? The welcome. Please come in. That's Rahm Emanuel. And here he is saying the truth about Democrat-run cities.
No, this is a huge Democratic Party problem. If you look at Democratic cities, they are terribly run.
Yeah.
They have incredibly high taxes. Yeah. It is impossible to build, so the cost of housing... Let me finish. I'll give you a chance.
Rahm Emanuel's like, stop. I'll turn you into a zombie.
The housing is crazy in places like New York and Chicago.
Yeah.
If you look at Democratic states, you go look at New York versus Florida. Okay, yeah. Roughly the same population. Yeah. The budget of New York State is twice that of Florida.
Yeah, and New York's budget is $127 billion, and the entire state of Florida, including Miami and Orlando and all, there's $117 billion.
What do they have? With streets paved with gold? I live in New York. I pay the highest taxes.
They're paved with crap and garbage.
New York. You get nothing for it. And I think that is the image people have of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Lots of taxes, lots of regulation, but nothing gets done.
No.
And I think
I live in L.A.
Right.
By the way, Rahm Emanuel is from Chicago. I don't know if you knew this, but the Bears are going to be leaving Chicago because the Democrats have bleeped things up so badly. Here's what Jim Gossett did about the Bears leaving Chicago.
Chicago is losing the Bears.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
For Bears fans, it's one sad state of affairs. We're bummed out. Looks like the Bears are moving out, and they're headed to Hammond. 'Cause Brandon Johnson, he has ruined this town.
Pretty good Chicago accent right there.
It's past time. The high crime gets worse every day. It's likely what scared the Bears away. Hey, go to a game and you'll risk your life. Sit next to a guy packing a knife in Chicago.
Chicago.
Ain't the Bears town.
No.
Bears.
Yeah, Bears. There you go. Yeah, I used to go to Chicago quite a bit. I've done some time on WLS radio up there and everything. When I was growing up as a kid, I listened to Chicago radio and Larry Lujak and Johnny B and all those guys, and I wouldn't go back there. I wouldn't want to go back there. Here's Fareed Zakaria talking about and listen to this, the budget of New York City is blown up through the ceiling, and yet they still don't have enough money. And the only thing that little jackweed, the little socialist, the little Lord of the Flies leader of New York, he just wants to cut the police and then raise property taxes if you can't tax billionaires.
A mandate for a city we can afford.
Last week, he unveiled a budget that is, in a word, unaffordable.
No.
New York has been fiscally profligate for so long that the headline number, $127 billion, produces little shock. But for perspective, these are similar to the annual expenditures of a mid-sized nation with all the expenses a country requires, like Greece or Thailand, devoted to governing one city. New York City's budget has ballooned in recent years.
Listen.
Michael Bloomberg's last budget, adopted for fiscal year 2014, totaled about $70 billion. So in little more than a decade, the budget has nearly doubled, growing faster than inflation and faster than the city's economic growth.
Wow. And I wonder how many people in New York City have had a 100% increase in their salary in the last 10 years. Probably very few. And then there's the taxes.
On business taxation, the city is also off the charts.
Wow.
The Citizens Budget Commission reports that New York City business activity faces the country's highest combined corporate tax rate.
What's that?
17.44%. Once state, city, and regional layers are stacked. Mamdani wants to hike income and corporate rates even further, or else he says he will raise property taxes.
Yeah, and then, of course, let's not forget personal income tax.
New York already sits at the extreme end of the American tax spectrum. For high earners, the combined state plus city income tax reaches 14.776%.
Wow.
Add federal taxes and the combined marginal rate can exceed 50%, reaching roughly 55% on certain investment income.
This is why Sean Hannity moved out, but it's not the only city that does this. Other Democrat cities obviously do.
Blue cities are out of control. Take Los Angeles. The city's homelessness budget for fiscal year 2025-26 totals about $950 million.
Mm-hmm.
The LA Homelessness Services Authority reported that in 2023, homelessness was up 9% countywide and 10% in the city.
Wow.
And the 2024 AP account noted that homelessness has surged 70% countywide since 2015.
Yeah, and the money was stolen. That's your Democrat Party, people. That's why people aren't moving to these states, and that's why there are people moving out of these cities. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Arrests ICE has made so far. How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals.
She's no KJP, more like Kaylee and Sarah. Her first press briefing was strong. She deals in facts, not liberal propaganda. We have been lied to for so long. Hand, raise your hand. Be polite, or she won't call on you. Meet Caroline, kicking butt and taking names. She's not inclined to let reporters play their games. Sweet Caroline.
With talent on loan from God, and have my brain tied behind my back, to be fair.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we'll miss you oh so much.
You know, I'm the mayor of Realville here.
You cut down liberals like a knife, Rush.
El Rushball.
Forever you'll be number one.
I am Rush Limbaugh, household name.
America needed a hero
in all four corners of the world.
And then you came to our rescue.
the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Competition, you had zero. How could so much talent be inside of you?
And don't doubt it.
You were the sunshine of our life. Rush. That's why we listened every day.
That's it. It's not much more complicated than that.
You helped us get through all the strife. Rush. No one will ever take your place. Because Rush was the sunshine.
Surpassing all audience expectations every day behind this, the Golden EIB microphone.
More of on WCBN.com.
The city's rental assistance spending rose from $263 million in fiscal year 2020 to $1.34 billion in the most recently reported fiscal year. That is a 5 times increase in a handful of years, and housing costs only got worse.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. And Zoran Mandami, Moran Zamkami, as I like to call him, is recognizing that socialism doesn't work when you run out of other people's money. And right now, you look at like when he said Bloomberg was the mayor in 2014, the budget of the city was under $80 million. It's $127 million now. And it's out of control. It's out of control. It's an out of control dumpster fire. It is. New York is out of control. There's no end to this madness other than, I guess, bankruptcy. Same goes with Chicago. Same goes with L.A. This is what the Democrat Party is doing. People are moving away from Democrat states. Whenever socialism wins in a state, people move away. They don't go, I want to move there and get free stuff. They know the lie of it. It's never going to work. Rocco in Georgia joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. How you doing there, Rocco? What's up today?
Not a lot, Rob. Enjoying your show, man.
Thank you, brother.
Listen, there's quite a few representatives and senators who are not going to show up tonight for the State of the Union.
Yep.
I have a pretty good idea. They should take those seats and fill them with children and teenagers who Tom Homan has rescued.
Ooh.
Who were led across the border, who were trafficked into this country.
That's actually a really good idea. It's a really good idea. All the lives that have been saved otherwise would have been spent in mine. That's not a bad idea, brother.
Right. I mean, they're not, because let's say you're a representative of a state. You're representative of all the people, not just Democrats.
Yeah.
Same thing with senators. And for you not to show up, you're not doing your job.
Yeah. Well, Rocco, I got to tell you, I think it's a blessing and a gift that these petulant children, they think it's somehow punitive for them not to show up. I think it's fantastic. I mean, come on, man.
But yeah, that's a better idea to put those victims in that chair.
I appreciate you. So, a Georgia resident, are you? Where you live?
I live in Calhoun,
beautiful,
north of Atlanta.
Beautiful place, man. I love it. I love me some Crystal Burger too, brother.
Yes, sir, brother.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, man. You too. Georgia's pretty cool. I did a lot of time on WYAY down there in Atlanta. And there's a big talker down there, WSB. Oh, my goodness. One of the greatest talk stations in the history of mankind, for goodness sake. WSB Atlanta. AM and FM powerhouse. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Rob Finnerty had Randy Fine on last night. Randy Fine's coming up with this Save Our Puppies bill to prevent radical Islamists from getting rid of dogs because they think they're dirty, but they love their goats, man. They love them goats. That's my goat over there with a pink ribbon around her neck. Oh, my God, she's so pretty, so beautiful. Valentine's Day was very special this year. She got my goat. Hey, I got her goat too. There you go. Anyway, so Randy Fine, he said that he put up on social media, what would you rather have, a dog or an Islamist? And of course, everybody got all bent out of shape because you can't criticize Islam. You know, and Rob Finnerty asked him if he was going to resign, and he said, "No."
I'm wondering, do you plan on resigning?
I don't. And you know what? They're going to have to get used to it. What's extraordinary, though, is Democrats are okay with one of their members texting with Jeffrey Epstein. They're okay with another one of their members stealing $5 million. But when a Republican congressman says, this is America, we get to keep our dogs, and if you don't like it, you can go home, they lose their absolute minds.
Yeah, I know. Do you regret that post?
Not at all. I actually think it's great because what it has done is it has made people realize what we are up against. I think people have been dulled into believing that we're one giant human family, we share the same values, and we're all the same. But the fact of the matter is that those who are trying to bring Sharia to America want us to submit to their faith. It's okay not to like dogs. It's weird, but it's not okay. It's not okay to tell me I can't have a dog because you don't like them. And that's what this Mamdani advisor said.
Yeah, unbelievable. I love those dogs where they got these ones where people go to the Humane Society and they're all sitting there in a row and they let the dog out and the dog decides which person they want. And I always get all teary-eyed and everything. I love those because you know what? Dogs are a gift from God. I work with an organization called Friends in Service of Heroes in Kansas City, and dogs, the companionship of a service dog can save someone's life who has PTSD. They're man's best friend. They're a better friend than most men. I'll tell you that. Here's a little bit more from Randy Fine about the public prayer by Islam going on in Times Square.
Why don't they just do that indoors? Why do they insist on taking over streets to pray when they could do it in their own church just like everybody else?
It's a great question. The answer is because this is a form of submission.
Yes.
It is a form of intimidation.
Yes.
That call to prayer says there is no God but Allah.
Yep.
You know, Christians believe in Jesus, but they don't demand that everyone else submit. Jews, of which I am one, believe certain things, but we don't force everyone else to submit. But this version of Islam demands that everyone submit to it. It will start with our puppies. It will start with these street prayers. It will not end there.
Yeah, and I'm about done with it. After 9/11, we allowed this to happen in places like New York City. I'm done with it. Here he is talking about being a time to fight back.
Do you see how your original post, Congressman, could be offensive to some?
Who cares?
Not at all. I'd choose dogs. Here's the difference.
What?
Jews aren't telling people that they can't have dogs.
Nope.
We may not eat pork and we may not eat shellfish,
I know.
but we're not telling the supermarket that they can't sell them. That's the difference here. And my post was very simple.
Yeah.
If you're going to make me choose between having my dog or making a group of people who've immigrated to this country happy by taking my dog away, I choose my dog. And I've got news for you. 99% of Americans feel exactly the same way. Of all the Democrats who criticized me, all of them, not a single one said, you know, I don't like how Randy put it, but I will fight to make sure your right to have a dog is never taken away. Not a single one said it. You know why? Because they don't want to offend those who would take them away. It used to be if we didn't want anyone who wanted to come here, we were a racist. Then it was if we won't give everyone who wants to come here free housing, free health care, free money, we're a racist. Now it's if we won't change how we live, we're a racist. We've had enough. We're going to fight back, and that's why my bill is so important.
Yeah, there you go, Scruffy. Bite them right where it counts. Thank you very much. You can also take your burqa and stick it too. All right, coming up, the Brigadier General is what I was thinking of. Brigadier General Blaine Holt joins us on the other side of the break to talk about Iran and other matters of interest. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets that keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/newsmax.
Greenland's a country we should buy. You know I'm really gonna try. Buy in Greenland something we should do, or slap another tariff on the EU. Denmark, it's really time to sell. We promise to treat Greenland well. Greenland, it would be quite a prize. Mineral rich and really big in size. The ice, so nice. Much land, it's grand security. A great strategy. Greenland we should buy.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Well, frankly, I think it's a close call. I think these cartels, both the Jalisco New Generation as well as the Sinaloa, which is the other major cartel there in Mexico, they are both heavily armed. They are armed in a sense just as well as the military there in Mexico. But I think what President Sheinbaum and others have been okay to do thus far is to accept some limited U.S. assistance, mainly as far as intelligence and capabilities. But if it does come to a battle between Mexican officials and the cartels, I think all they really have to do is ask the U.S. for some help. And President Trump has made it abundantly clear he's ready to help.
Yeah, that is Chad Wolf talking about what's going on in Mexico with the killing of one of the big kingpins of the drug world down there. Part of a global strategy, part of, I guess, the Don Road Doctrine, one of the next things that are happening there. And to join us to talk about this and other things is Brigadier General Blaine Holt, host of the Dangerous Intellectuals podcast. How are you on this glorious Tuesday, my friend?
Well, glorious hello from the Dominican Republic, my friend. We have arrived.
You're in the Dom Republic? What are you doing down there?
I found a thing down here that's very nice. It's called vitamin D and sunshine.
There you go. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. I didn't expect this, but I really appreciate it, my brother. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Mexico. This sounds like the beginning of something. What do you think the president is going to expect Sheinbaum to do now, and what are we going to do to protect Americans who are down there?
Well, we're going to have to probably put together some sort of operation. I'm certain it's in the planning stages now to get Americans protected in Mexico, both internally and on the coastal areas. You've got so many tourists that have only so many days of life support, so it's a very precarious situation. Sheinbaum's got her hands full. She's going to respond to America favorably in any way because she's all in. She's essentially made her bet, and it's going to be a very dangerous set of days ahead, and don't forget about the danger we face with the cartels right here at home.
Absolutely, 100%. I had said, and I'm kind of fantasizing out loud, that we send a couple Hueys in there with Jesse the Body Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger blaring Long Tall Sally and then paint some targets and blow some things up. Do you suppose that could be in the offing? I mean, there was a report of drones, U.S. drones surveilling. I think that might have been out west. Do you suppose they've already done some of that reconnaissance and know what targets they might hit?
Oh, I absolutely do. We've been studying potential targets in and around Mexico for years. We've only been refining the list. And so, this is why you're watching the cartels just act spasmodically. You had the Jaliscos actually just throwing live grenades to create terror and havoc into grocery stores, blowing people up. So, no, this is the real thing. And then what I would tell everybody is, don't think this is in a stovepipe. This is related to Iran. This is related to Ukraine. This is every one of the global puzzle pieces is now clicking together. Don't forget, we saw corrupt black market weapons from Ukraine find their way into the hands of the cartels. We know that Iranian shoulder-launched missiles, Misags, are in the cartel's hands and in cartel hands with the Sinaloas in our own country. So whether it's China and Russia having interests in Iran, whether it's Hezbollah and the IRGC working with the cartels in Mexico and in the United States, time to keep our head on a swivel, kids, because it's about to get really rough for a while.
Yeah, I saw yesterday an armored vehicle brought from Ukraine, even had the Ukrainian flag still on it. And you know that a good share of the money we sent over there, they sold those arms. They took that money. It's the most corrupt country in the damned world. So you're saying that the whole bunch of bad actors are involved down there. What about training? I mean, it's nice to have shoulder-fired missiles and whatnot, but what sort of training do you suppose these drug cartels have? I mean, listen, they're well-funded. They're worth billions of dollars thanks to trafficking of people and drugs. What are they going to do to be trained?
Well, they're well funded. They have their own training camps. They have gone to Ukraine and fought with the Ukrainians there and have practical combat experience. And so you have IRGC, the Iranians, who have terror camps where they train them in Mexico. Everything we've been talking about for years now is coming to fruition. Every single thing. And, everybody has always been like, well, is that really today's problem? Well, it is today's problem now. Because the bad guys, whether it's the People's Liberation Army, whether it's the IRGC, Hezbollah, Tren de Aragua, they all work together. That's why President Trump chose to go after the cartels as his point of entry, because it's the vascular system to it all.
Well, look what he did with Maduro. That certainly was cutting the head off a major snake there. But, we always think of Mexico as this delightful little place. We go down and we head across the border, have some margaritas, maybe do some pharmaceutical shopping over there because the drugs are a little bit cheaper. You can buy some tchotchkes. But Mexico is about as corrupt as it gets, and it is actually not fully our friend.
No, not at all. But it's about to be, because they have to choose now. Everybody's got to choose. Do you choose the cartels or do you choose the United States? Well, I can tell you that in a clandestine way, we have so put the cartels off balance.
Yeah.
That's why parking the Ford off of Venezuela was so important. And you heard me say it before. It wasn't just about Venezuela. It's about the cartels that have no borders, including our own.
Yeah.
And they have run the tables with impunity. They are billionaires several times over.
Yeah.
They have well-trained armies. But they've gotten fat, bloated, arrogant, and they don't understand that the United States put the blade back on its sword.
Yeah. Well, when they're very arrogant. They were firing across the Rio Grande when Joe Biden was the president. They act very cocky when they're dealing with an unarmed populace, but they've never gotten the hammer from the world's greatest military, now under the direction of Pete Hegseth and a commander-in-chief that isn't going to mess around. I think what would it take for us to... And what do you suppose the limits to our interactions would be able to do a kinetic strike without having troops on the ground there?
I don't think we need as many troops on the ground. I think we need some special forces inserts to work with our Mexican army allies.
Yeah.
I mean, they are allies to us in an official sense.
Yes.
But they're working with us right now, and then air power. But we don't need a massive invasion force, no massive army.
No.
We just need very intelligent air power. If you recall the Afghanistan operation in the early days when Special Forces on the ground was working with the Northern Alliance, and then you had air power overhead, that's the complexion of this.
Gotcha.
That's what it should look like.
Gotcha.
And then what we want to do is we want to create, with the most efficient means possible, nothing but a wake of death, destruction. And don't forget one of the most important players in this.
What?
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is rolling up their laundered money. He is rolling up their assets.
Yeah.
You have a super yacht in Puerto Vallarta, it's as good as gone. We'll take it from you.
I love it. Blaine Holt, I know you're on vacation. Will you hold through the break? Because I want to get your thoughts on what's happening with Iran, okay?
Absolutely.
Is it too early for a margarita?
Never.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And Wealth each Wednesday night at 6 p.m.
So this world is totally changed. And now you have a change in the administration south of the border from AMLO, who was into this let's give them all hugs crap, to Scheinbaum, who's been better on the issue. There's still room for improvement. And now you see an operation like this where El Mencho gets taken out. I mean, this is a totally different world. The president's not kidding around with this Don Roe doctrine. I know people are like, oh, Don Roe, Monroe doctrine. He's not. This is not a joke to him. He is not going to let, in this complicated new world of threats, grid systems, EMP attacks, weapons, drones, fusion technology, he is not going to let people set up shop in Central, South America, Cuba, and elsewhere. He's not. I don't know why people think he's kidding. He has shown no evidence that he's going to back down at all. And now you see it with El Mencho, thanks to some of our support, 6 feet deep. And listen, sorry, man, but he found out.
There you go. That is Dan Bongino. It's good to see Dan back on the air, hearing his voice again and hearing his expertise. But El Mencho is El Dedo. That didn't work very well. Anyway, Brigadier General Blaine Holt is in the Dom Ram right now, enjoying a little vacation. But let's move on to Iran. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned Monday that the Iranian regime would face a force they cannot even imagine should it attack the Jewish state. You've got Boeing KC-135 refueling aircraft, C-17s, 200 U.S. fighter jets positioned across the Middle East, two aircraft carrier groups over there. It sounds like the chess pieces have been moved into place for checkmate. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I think they have. But now let's get back to what I'm telling you about all these pieces interlocking.
Okay.
So what my hope is and what my advice would match actually General Kane's, which is these should be surgical strikes. We don't need to do wave after wave and make it look like Iraq and Afghanistan, because we're going to have the main line of effort here in the United States, I believe. Mm-hmm. And Iran cells are here in the United States with us. We've had 4 years of open borders. Yeah. So if you put the Ayatollah into a Hail Mary situation, don't think that war just stays in the Middle East. Yeah. They'll join up rather quickly with their brothers and sisters in the cartels, and they'll get active on this side. So how, this is why everybody's saying, isn't the president doing anything? The president is threading the mother of all needles. He's trying to avoid World War III. Let him work, because it's all related. There are no such things as this is an incident on this part of the world. Yeah. You got China, Russia, Iran, the cartels, Mexico, Venezuela. They're all part of this, and they're all here with us.
Yeah, yeah. What would you recommend? I mean, obviously vigilance, and I would assume that we have intelligence services who are working on it here. What sort of attack? I mean, obviously we know how terrorists operate, but how concerned do you suppose we should be, and how do we prepare ourselves, brother?
Yeah, I'm not trying to scare the
I know
everybody, but
gotta be ready, bro.
For yourself, what's happening around the world, and it's not a fantasy that everybody understands who got into the country and that there's cartels on Main Street. So, as communities, we've got to pull together, be resilient, understand that our grids, our water, cyber systems, all are targets, in addition to potential terror attacks on law enforcement, and that kind of thing. Yep. So if you see something, don't just assume it's a fire running out of control. Somebody could have set that fire. Yeah. It could be a diversion for something. Don't just assume that Antifa kid is an Antifa kid. He might be a cartel kid or an Iranian. We just have to put the pieces together, keep in the game, study everything. Yeah. And again, this is about us being resilient, because the United States military can't come home right this second. Yeah. We're busy around the world. We've got National Guard and all of that, but we already saw things like Minneapolis. And don't think for 5 seconds these anti-ICE people aren't going to capitalize on those weaknesses. Yeah. So it's a little rough. Yeah. It's a little rough, but we'd be lying if we said otherwise. And we don't need to be fearful. We need to be in touch with our Creator and in touch with what we've done in case uncertainty falls our way.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Well, I hope you enjoy your time in the Dominican Republic. I would assume you have a couple of nice either Dominican or Cuban cigars with you.
You were going to do just fine, brother. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you very much, and God bless. And again, tell everybody where they can hear your Dangerous Intellectuals podcast. It's a really good show, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Come to dangerousintellectuals.com. You're going to hear Dr. Emily Brearley talk about the corrupt cartel called International Aid and Development and how we've been fleeced over all the years.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks a lot.
You bet. Tonight, by the way, State of the Union, Newsmax. Just watch it on Newsmax. There's no other place to watch it than Newsmax. Finnerty's going to be doing it. Rob Finnerty, Greta Van Susteren are going to be doing the play-by-play pre and post. And I would encourage you to download the Newsmax app. By the way, I've been with Newsmax for 6 years now, and what a glorious organization it is. They got a bureau here in Washington, D.C. They got a bureau in South Florida. They got a bureau in New York City. And a lot of people are turning into Newsmax because you can trust Newsmax. You can trust Newsmax. And I got to tell you, the people on Newsmax, Rob Schmidt, Rob Finnerty, Carl Higbee, Greg Kelly, just all outstanding people. And they're honest about who they are. They're not going to change their stripes, depending on an election and all that stuff. So I would encourage you to, if you haven't checked out Newsmax, I would encourage you to watch Newsmax because it's definitely something you want to watch. But again, tonight on Newsmax is what you want to watch. You want to watch the State of the Union. By the way, real quick, let's check the price of gold real quick here, because the price of gold went up real high and then it came back down again, and then it went back. I'm going to check right here. What is the price of gold today, ladies and gentlemen? $51.54. So we are well above $5,000 per ounce. If you have been considering buying gold, it's giving you a little bit of a tease here to get back in before it begins its climb again. I had mentioned earlier, ANZ sees gold hitting $5,800 an ounce in the second quarter. And so it's giving you a little pause. I know you've been thinking about it a while. It was $2,600 an ounce a year and a half or so ago, and now it's $51.54 an ounce. And Birch Gold is a company that I trust. I literally just invested the last of my little 401k in Birch Gold, and I said, do it all gold. All gold all the time, no silver. I said, I will add silver to the portfolio. I'll just set aside a little bit month to month and we'll buy some silver. Because I am going to buy silver. Because they're talking about $300 silver possibly this year. And, it went above $115 an ounce. It's like in the 80s now. So I'm going to add some silver as time goes on. And I have gold now that it's low. And so what you need to do is text my name, Rob, to 989898. Rob to 989898. Get information, no obligation. A+ rating from the BBB. Rob to 989898 from Birch Gold. This is the Rob Carson Show. Back in a minute. All right. Hi, kids. Oh, I got to play this. All right, who's watching? Melanie Goodwin, hello, over there on X. And Maximus Cassius X. Hello, that's kind of a cool name. I appreciate you. Who's watching on the Facebookage? Squall White and Charles. How you doing there, Charles? And Lindsay and Greg. Where are you guys watching? You going to be watching Newsmax tonight with me? I think we should. I'll get some popcorn ready. I've been very good. I've been not eating carbs after 5 p.m. and today's my workout day, so I will. Funny. I'm watching. We had a funny conversation on Rumble about milking bulls. Be careful. Gold going to $6,000 an ounce when we attack Iran. That's what Sport Texas. You never know, right? You never know. Got the Newsmax app. Got Newsmax on my cable company. Good for you. I watch it on YouTube TV, by the way. I watch it on YouTube TV. And I just like, YouTube TV. That's what I do. I used to have satellite. I don't do satellite anymore. But I watch YouTube TV, and I can switch back and forth. I watch, like, Newsmax, The Simpsons. I don't know. They got a couple shows that I watch. They're kind of fun. Family Guy. All about the same time. Guy Fieri. Watch Guy Fieri. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Go back to Newsmax. That's what I watch. All right, I got my last break ready here. Hold on. No one. Oh, yeah, here we go. I got to do this. I got something here. Here we go. Let's do this. Democrats. Sorry, I got to talk. Here we go.
CBM.
It is a Rob Carson Show. Donald Trump again playing 4D chess, I guess. Designating branches of the Muslim Brotherhood as terrorist organizations, the progenitor of ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and Hamas. There's a lot of stuff going on, and as Blaine Holt said, there's a lot of shenanigans going on in our country thanks to Joe Biden leaving the southern border open and endanger all of us. So, be vigilant, be vigilant. So, you can't make this up. Democrats in Virginia pushed a bill through to restrict anyone under 21 for possessing a firearm. This is one of the Republicans in Virginia. By the way, Abigail Scamberger is doing the rebuttal to the Faith of the Union tonight. She is a crazy cat lady from hell. But listen, this is unconstitutional. It's not going to stand. But listen to the lunacy from Democrats, and they will do this anywhere they get into office. Anywhere they get into office. They are going further left than they were in 2024.
Hey, good morning, friends. I just wanted to hop on and let you know about a bill that passed yesterday on the House floor, House Bill 1525, which is intended to disallow anybody under the age of 21 to purchase, transfer, or possess a firearm. And I won't go into all the details, but it says no one under 21 can do this unless you're with an accompanying adult and you're hunting or you're going to a shooting range. Well,
that's just damned unconstitutional and will not stand.
Well, friends, go to the Code of Virginia and see what the definition of an adult is. It's somebody who's 18. This is the absurdity. This is the perfect example of the absurdity in Richmond and the attack on our Second Amendment.
Yeah, and this is a bunch of children who have no knowledge of the Constitution, a bunch of academic, intellectually stunted morons who are saying that an 18-year-old who can die in battle cannot have a gun. It must be a company that can only use it at a firearm range or deer hunting. Shut up. My God, you people are going to get your rear end kicked up between your shoulders. Okay, we got the Second Amendment to not for hunting, not for target practice, because we overran with individuals who own guns, the most powerful army in the entire world. Do you suppose after defeating the British Army with guns in the hands of civilians that we wanted to use them for target practice? My God, you people are so ridiculously stupid, uneducated, and honestly, I am not going to move from this state as much as I might consider it. We've got to defeat these people, got to defeat this nonsense, and they will try it anywhere. Newsmax tonight. Watch the State of the Union. We'll hit it tomorrow. God bless you. God bless America's founded Donald Trump as he makes the country great again. And until tomorrow, which is Wednesday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then. Love you guys.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.